Good evening, everyone. There we go. Good evening, everyone. It's lovely to see you. We haven't made anything in a while, so we're going to make a cranberry smoothie.
Cranberry protein smoothie, I think.
Perfect for breakfast, lunch, as a side, or dessert. And we're going to talk about some tips and tricks for keeping you safe at your meals. And because it's the holiday season, it's really important that if you're going to an event, a party, out to dinner, etc., that you have the right strategies to keep yourself safe. So we're going to go over a couple of those things, and we would love for you to ask questions as they arrive. And we're posting to our, not in our group, we'll share it in the group, but we're posting on the business page today because this is information that everybody needs to know.
Agreed.
Hands down, without a doubt. So we do want you to join our Facebook group, Dysphagia Support for Nutrition and Swallowing, but we're available everywhere.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to just pull up some notes on my phone to make sure we hit everything.
Okay.
And do you want to get started on our smoothie?
I do. Let's talk quickly about
Blend Jet.
This.
Safe as usual. I know. It's usually my job to drop things.
I know. What's going on here? We've changed
okay.
roles.
I know, we have. So some of you may have heard we went to the ASHA convention in New Orleans in November, and it was amazing. However, we took our Blend Jet with us. And
everybody knows that I used to have a black one. How about this? Got a new one now because TSA thought that I could
hurt
be
someone.
dangerous. So,
Whoops.
Blend Jet agreed to replace it for me.
So Blend Jet, our experience with Blend Jet has been absolutely amazing. So we are not compensated for anything from Blend Jet, but we absolutely love their product and who they are as a company. Every time we've sent them a message, they've responded. I did purchase the protection plan on mine when I got it because I'm dangerous. I drop things, I break things. And I had to replace the plastic piece within like 3 weeks of getting it. And so I could have gotten just a whole new Blend Jet, but I got a couple of the different sizes, which hopefully will come in handy for us at some point. So we're going to make cranberry. So I'm going to open a can of cranberry sauce. We have juice. And then we have two different options here. We have protein powder. This is a plant-based protein powder, so I believe it's made of pea protein and chia and brown rice. We also have a grass-fed milk-based protein shake from Orgain. I drink these regularly because I just need protein in the morning, and sometimes I don't like a full, like oatmeal or whatever. So we have an option to either use the powder or the shake.
Yes.
If we use the powder, we'll use oat milk. If you're plant-based, this protein's the way to go. Okay, I'm gonna, can opener is in here, right?
Yeah.
It's been a couple of weeks since I cooked with you.
I know. I know.
All right.
So,
I know, it's been busy.
We've had,
Let's see if I can make this can opener work. Sometimes I can get it, sometimes I can't.
Just keep turning.
Keep turning?
Keep turning. The other way. Yep.
Okay. Hey,
Yeah,
look,
you got
I got it. Okay. So, what are we going to throw in there first?
Well, I want to put the solids last.
So we do have some cream cheese that we're just gonna and you can use plant-based cream cheese if you're plant-based. That's fine.
Or you can leave the cream cheese out. We just want that thickness, viscosity, and the creaminess.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Yes. So solids last. You want the area around the blades to be able to move freely. So
How much juice?
I would say, because I think we should use the powder.
Okay.
Because I find that I struggle with the powder sometimes. I try to do videos sometimes in the morning, and I really struggle with this. So let's add 4 ounces of juice, because we can always add more. I sometimes lock mine up, and nothing with this is frozen, but if you're using a frozen fruit, you don't want to use a ton because it will get stuck and then it'll take forever. Okay, so, and
this is its maiden voyage, by the way. Just letting everybody know, you get to see the
never been used before. So the nice thing about BlendJet too is that it's got amounts on the side here, so you don't even need a measuring cup. You can just pour it right in. Okay, so sometimes this gets a little messy. If you have scissors, it can be a good idea to use scissors, but I'm just gonna do what I do and make a mess. Stephanie knows.
It's all right.
She loves me anyway. Okay. And I usually clean up after myself. Sometimes I forget.
We have dish rags. We're good.
Yeah. Okay. So, I don't like this new Facebook Go Live thing because I can't see comments. So, hopefully, I'll be able to look at it. So,
can you X out on those tips?
I can. Okay. That's all the powder.
Okay.
So, as you can see, that's quite a bit of powder there. So, our first tip that I'm going to give you is if you have dysphagia and you're going to a party, or even if you're eating out with a bunch of people, eat your biggest meal of the day at either breakfast or lunch. There's a whole bunch of reasons for this, but if you eat your biggest meal of the day for breakfast or lunch, you're less hungry typically later, and then it helps with other things like not overeating before you go to bed as well. A lot of these tips that we're going to give you are also really helpful for acid reflux. Strange how that works.
Yeah. Well, also, if you're going to go to a party or you're going out to eat with friends for the holidays, eating before you go out is probably a very good idea because you don't want to be ravenous, you don't want to be starving, and then make choices on what you're going to eat that maybe is outside of what's safest for you
or normal for you.
And it's also, there's a lot more distractions. So if you don't go in hungry, then you may be able to just enjoy slowly eating your meal and enjoying the company, because we know how important the socialization of mealtime is. And that's what we want to help get back for you. And that's why we're coming to you with these recommendations or tips.
Yep.
So a little bit more liquid, I think.
Yeah, definitely more liquid. I would say
4
like
ounces.
2 to 4 ounces for sure. Okay. And I think we should blend this and then add our cranberry sauce and our cream cheese. What do you think?
I agree.
All right, it's going to get loud. Plug your ears. It's not crazy loud, but plug your ears. Okay.
Keep it away from the...
Beautiful. It's a pretty pink color.
So right before we started, I got it stuck in pulse mode, and I couldn't figure out how to...
Okay.
Sorry. But right before we started, I got it stuck in pulse mode, and I couldn't get it out of pulse mode. So I just unscrewed the whole container to
reset it, basically. Okay. So we have 10 ounces in there right now. So I'm going to add, how much cranberry sauce? This is sweetened cranberry sauce too. Yeah. So I'm going to add like a quarter cup-ish. Quarter cup. We can always add more. Remember, you can always add more. And then let's throw the cream cheese in there too. So
all 4?
Yeah, I think so. The cream cheese is going to make this a really, really beautiful silky consistency. And the BlendJet should blend up. Let's see if you can see some of these chunks of cranberry on the side here. Those should get blended all the way through. So if you need it completely smooth, it should be completely smooth. Okay, here we go.
Okay, I'm going to...
Okay.
Still got a few chunks.
I think it needs to go one more time.
Should I?
Yeah, let's check it
down
out.
the sides.
Yeah. So next tip is that when you are going to eat, if you're at a buffet or whatever, don't eat as you're walking because that's a distraction. We want to make sure that you avoid distractions and that you go and you sit down, ideally with your feet on the floor and you're upright. Correct?
Right. So the whole feet on the floor thing, a lot of people question me, why do you tell people to sit with their feet on the floor? Well, a lot of people will, and this goes for eating all the time. And if you're at a party, you're probably not going to eat kicked back in a bed or on the couch or something. So your feet will typically be on the floor for a party. But just in general, eating with your feet on the floor helps your posture to be that upright posture. You want to be at that 90-degree posture. And by putting your feet on the floor, that almost forces that 90-degree posture. That you may have strategies that changes that a little bit, and that's individual to you. But as a general rule, you should always be upright.
Yep. Always be upright for any time you're eating. And this is not just for people with dysphagia or reflux, but we honestly recommend this for everybody. So when I work in the hospital, it's hard for people to understand because they're sitting in their bed with the bed up as high as possible, which is not 90 degrees. And with your feet out in front of you, think of this. If your feet is out, if your feet are out in front of you, it changes your posture. So you've got a little bit of this going on here. So you may not be at the best. And then you have to compensate in probably unhealthy ways. So sit upright, feet on the floor, ideally feet on the floor.
Ideally.
If possible. Sometimes it's not possible, especially if you're in the hospital. And what was the other one I said? Eat your biggest meal of the day early in the day. Okay, we're going to blend this again, and then we'll have a few more.
Yep, I'm going to take it away from there.
Okay. All right, we had Brittany say hello. So nice to see you, my friend Brittany.
Hi, Brittany.
Looks good.
It does look good. I am going to say this. The cranberry sauce that I have is in a can. We did make homemade, but I had this just in case.
Yeah.
That's why we have it today. I got the cranberry sauce with whole berries. If I'm going to say this right now because I'm seeing how it's blending, you may want to get the jelly kind if you're going to do this. Just because there are little chunks of the skin.
Or if you want to make it from scratch, we can send you a recipe. So just send us a message saying we want a recipe for making it from scratch. But then we would also teach you how to puree it while you're making the cranberry sauce and then potentially strain it so you get out all the solids. Oh, that looks beautiful.
Here we go.
I love it. A little dollop of whipped cream would make this a really nice little dessert. Or Cool Whip, depending.
Oh, it smells so good.
Cheers. It smells like the holidays. Happy holidays, everyone.
That's right. I'll let you know. Oh, that's tasty.
Yep. I like it. Okay. So the next recommendation I have, and this is, once again, for everyone, but especially for anyone with dysphagia, eat slowly and chew thoroughly. So why do we eat slowly? For anyone with dysphagia specifically.
Well, we don't want you to lose track of the food in your mouth and choke on it.
And this also comes back to you don't want to have distractions when you're eating. Because if you're distracted, you may lose track of what's going on, and that could go down the wrong pipe, which is problematic. And then we always recommend having a sip between a bite of solid. So some liquid with some solid to help clear, right? If I say something wrong, she'll correct me, so it's okay. You want to clear and make sure all the residue's out of there, and then it also helps moisten it so it goes down the right tube, which is your esophagus and not your trachea into your lungs.
Correct.
Because that would be very bad.
And also, if you have any motility issues or if you have concerns of anything, if you have a stricture or any kind of issues with food going down all the way, that sip of liquid afterward will help to wash that through.
Yep.
Hopefully.
Yep, it should. All right, so we already mentioned the reduced distractions, but this also comes for stressors. If there's anything going on around you that could cause you stress or anxiety, we want to eliminate that as much as possible. So let's say you're at the dinner table with your kids and your dog is like messing with your Christmas tree, and the last thing you need is for your Christmas tree to come down, or your cat is in your Christmas tree.
You know about that?
I do know about that. I've had a cat take down a Christmas tree at least once. It's not fun. Caused some severe anxiety. If this is going on, this is probably not a good time for you to be eating. And you may need to just enjoy being with the family, but eat your meal later, sad to say, because we want to make sure that you're safe and you're not going to lose anything down the wrong pipe. And that's just an example of a stressor, but it could be anything. It could be something on the TV you don't like. It could be your kids having an argument. It could be you having an argument with your specific significant other. Goodness gracious, words are hard. Need a speech therapist in my life.
I know of you.
Reduce distractions. Eliminate stressors as much as possible. Be present in the moment so that you know what's going on with your body and with your food. Okay.
Yes.
So, we want you to also stay upright after your meal for at least an hour. And we don't want you to go to bed, so we don't want you to go to bed and lay flat within like 2 to 3 hours after your meal, because this puts you at risk for some of that food coming back up and potentially you struggling with it here. And reflux, not good. Not good. Okay.
Yes, just in general, I think not eating late at night is a good idea. I think it's healthier for us.
It is.
But if you have reflux, if you have GERD, if you have any kind of esophageal motility issues, you want to give all of that time to get all the way to your stomach.
Right. And if it takes longer because you don't have the motility, so your esophagus does this thing where it pushes food down, right? And so who knew that your esophagus had these little muscles in it that moved food down from your throat into your belly? Well, it does. It's called peristalsis. It happens in your gut as well. That's how food moves through your gut and then out of your body. If your peristalsis doesn't work, that's a huge problem, right? So we need to give your body the tools it needs to get that food from here to here. And one of those things is liquid. One of those things is gravity. And time is the third.
Yep.
So don't rush through your meal. You need to take your time.
And don't lay down right after.
Yeah. Stay
Some
upright.
people don't even lay down at night to sleep. They have a wedge or a special bed that lifts up.
Or they sleep in a chair.
Or they sleep in a recliner or chair.
And that's okay too. Okay, so do you have any others that you want to hit on that are more speech therapy related?
Well, just keeping in mind as to what your diet level is. And I'm talking particularly if you go to a party.
So this is liquidized. This is like a level, gosh, I would even say this is like slightly thick. This is maybe a level 2 or
I would say 2.
maybe liquidized. We could maybe consider that liquidized, level 3.
But just keeping in mind what types of things are safest for you and stick with that. Party time, out with friends, not the time to challenge yourself. Probably all of you are already thinking, of course, why would we challenge ourselves? That I understand that, but sometimes the heat of the event or just the excitement of the party, just stick to your diet level. Maybe even go down below a level.
So if you have a portable blender,
You can bring it with you.
bring it with you, because you might find something that would be really good pureed. Who knows? Or you take a shake with you that's neutral flavored. This one's vanilla, and you say you want to have like a piece of pie or a cookie or a brownie or a take your shake
Protein
and
shake.
make yourself a nice little dessert or, yeah.
And trust me, guys, we've taken this into a restaurant and we've blended a hamburger.
Which I think we're going to do again soon in the near future because it's time for us to do it again.
I think so.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
To a different one and
Different
see
restaurant.
what kind of different people react. But nobody seemed to even notice that we were doing it.
Yep.
So
Yep.
this works in restaurants.
So I want to talk a little bit about some nutritional things that I would recommend. So when you're eating, whether you're at any meal, a party, a friend's house, anywhere, eat your protein first. If you're vegetarian, lentils, beans and rice, that's a carb too, so that's a little bit different. But chicken, beef, pork, eggs, eat your protein first because your stomach is meant to digest protein, and so it takes a little bit longer. And then you want to eat your carbohydrate last. If you struggle with blood sugar, this will slow down how quickly your body processes sugar. And it also gives your body the time, because sometimes those high fat or high protein foods also have a little more fat in them. It gives your body a little bit more time to process that fat so that it's not sitting at the top of your stomach and then coming back up through your esophagus. So protein first at every meal, if at all possible. Next, we want to say avoid foods that cause you trouble. This is different for every person, but I have a list of just some very common ones that cause reflux for a lot of people. And a lot of people have dysphagia because they have had reflux for years and they don't know what to do about it. So if you're going to a party, alcohol is not your friend if you have reflux or dysphagia. I hate to say it because I know sometimes people say, oh, but it relaxes me a little bit. If you're struggling with those things, alcohol may not be your friend. So just keep that in mind. Chocolate can cause some inflammation. Spicy food, I know, all the good things. I'm going to tell you all the good things. So we need to come up with a list of things that are a good idea. Spicy food. A habit that may not help is smoking. And this is just because it messes with how your blood vessels and your muscles react. So just something to keep in mind. And then the last one that I remind people of is peppermint. The reason I recommend that people stay away from peppermint, myself included, because peppermint or other mint flavored things, I guess the word I'm going to use is a relaxant. So I have reflux. I've had reflux since I was 5 hours old. When I eat or drink anything that's peppermint, I get reflux. And the reason that is because it causes the little valve that goes from your esophagus into your stomach to relax, and that allows stuff to come back up. So it makes me wonder if that happens through the length of the esophagus and can cause that to happen here as well. So peppermint, especially if you've eaten too much, is not your friend. I know everyone says it'll help with your digestion. If you've overeaten, chamomile might be a better choice.
It's a good recommendation.
Yeah, I'm just very hesitant with peppermint. Everyone's always like, it'll help with your nausea. And for me, it doesn't. Yeah, it's news to her. Surprise! Yeah.
You know, they hand out peppermints at restaurants after meals. And
They do.
Maybe that's not a good idea.
Right. For me, it's not a good idea. I will end up with pain if I have peppermints. There are just some things that exacerbate. And for some people, that might not be the case. It may not affect you the same way. But if you're sensitive already, might be something to stay away from.
That's a good call.
Yeah. All right. I
Pardon me for a
think
moment.
the puppy is excited about something. So sit upright, feet on the floor, eat slowly, chew thoroughly, take sips of your drink between bites of your food, eliminate your distractions, reduce your stressors, be present. This is something that I am still working on in every aspect of my day, is just to be present. Stay upright for at least an hour after eating. and don't lay down flat for anywhere between 2 to 3 hours within the time you ate. I could have said that better. If you're going to go to bed, you need to sit upright if you've eaten within the last 3 hours. Eat your protein first and your carbohydrate last. Eat a small meal in the evening, and if you're going to a party, maybe eat before. Eat your big meal, either breakfast or lunch, so your body has time, and that way you also get your bigger, more heavy meals in earlier in the day when your muscles are awake and ready to do the work. Sometimes in the evenings, and this is probably another topic for a whole other day, but sometimes in the evenings our bodies don't work as well. They're just tired.
And it gives gravity time to get everything where it needs to.
Gravity is your friend.
Well, unless you're falling.
Unless you're falling down, and then it's not. But that's for a physical therapist or an OT.
Yeah, we've got friends if you need
We've
to
got
know
friends for
about
that. Be selective. Don't take chances. Stick with what you know works for you if you're going to be eating out. Remain vigilant with those safe foods. Take your blender with you. And then try to avoid any foods that cause you discomfort, pain, GI distress, headaches, etc. Anything you're sensitive or allergic to. This includes potentially alcohol, chocolate, spicy foods, and then for me, peppermints, maybe you too. And then if you're a smoker, I'm going to recommend that you try to cut back or stop smoking altogether. I know not everyone's going to be happy to hear that, but it's just not good for some of those things that happen, especially if you've got reflux. So that's all we have for you today. I hope that you found something valuable. If you have any questions, we would love to hear from you. If you have a recipe that you want us to send you, like for cranberry sauce, you can make pie filling and smoothies and whatever sauces to put on whatever kind of food this time of year. Cranberries are one of my favorite.
Yep.
That's all we have for you today. So let us know if you have any questions. And if you are looking for a speech therapist and or a dietitian, we would love to work with you. So please send us a message on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and you can send us a text message to 574-475-7285, and we'll get back to you.
Or dysphagiaduo@gmail.com.
Yes, you can find us just about anywhere. We're here to help you.
Yes, we are.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.